guys, it's Lindsay here with Pilates On Demand. Today I've got for you a mat Pilates with equipment at home. So this is going to be a nice, strong mat Pilates class using a big stability ball, a small stability ball, and a light set of weights. I'm gonna work with 2 pounds. We'll be rotating equipment throughout the class. This is a total body routine. Everything is going to get worked to that kind of fatigue, burny sensation that we love that Pilates offers. So it's an endurance-based workout, and we're gonna have some fun. We're definitely going to be mixing it up today. So grab your equipment. I would have a mat, but nothing too squishy because of the stability ball. You want to be able to balance. You might even move the mat out of the way for some exercises. So guys, we are gonna start standing up with the small ball. So grabbing your small ball, we're gonna get started with footwork. So the ball is gonna go right above the knees between the inner thighs. If balance is a challenge for you, grab a wall, a chair, hands over a sink for balance. And we're gonna get going, guys. Toes point straight on. We're closer than hips distance, so you can already feel that engagement into the ball. You're squeezing, you're using your inner thighs. You're drawing your abs up and heavy tailbone. Float your heels up 1 inch, so like a super low high heel shoe. Draw your collarbone nice and open, and we're gonna think of sliding down a wall as we bend our knees. So you're gonna think of leaning your back over your hips as we squat down. Those knees are shooting forward off the line of the hips. We're keeping that balance, grounding into the big toes, and we're slowly coming back up that wall. And you're gonna stop before you lock out the knee. So I want a little bend in the knee the whole time. So find that balance, evenly spreading the weight from the ball of the big toe to the pinky toe. We slowly lower down. I'm just hovering my hips above my heels, and I'm gonna slowly pull back up. Stopping with that micro bend in the knee at the top. Okay, I'm gonna face you guys. So you got an idea of what that spine is doing. It is totally fine if you're leaning forward a little bit. Just try to keep the spine straight and the chest open. You could put your hands on a wall and push off the wall, or hands around a counter and hang off if you're having a problem keeping the tall posture or with balance. So remember, there's always a modification you can make here. Now our focus here is strengthening the knees, the quads, and this little guy called your VMO, vastus medialis obliquus. It's right at the inside of the knee, and it's a really good thing to strengthen in order to help have healthy knees and make them feel better. Now I know sometimes people can be a little nervous about taking this deep bend in the knees. So remember, stay in a place that you're comfortable with. You can make the range of motion smaller, no problem. I'm already sweating, you guys. Squeeze the ball as you come to stand. Good, let's take 2 more. So nice and slow, we make our way down. Try to keep my tempo, don't rush it. It's not about getting cardio or fast movements in. It's about really isolating these muscles, making them fire up. Woo! They're talking back. Okay, last one. Slowly lower down. Chest back over the hips. And slowly pull it up. Okay, this time you're gonna come down just halfway. So think hips coming to about the line of your knees. Heels are just barely hovering. You're gonna squeeze the ball. Now I want you to think of your lower abdominals, your pelvic floor. Pull it in for 8, 7. If it's burning, you're doing it right. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Try to stand up nice and slow and drop your heels. So toes point on straight on, calf raises. Find the high heel shoe. Then press the heel down. Inhale to lift, exhale to lower. So we're definitely challenging balance here. I'm doing this real time with you. If I fall out of it, remember, just because I'm a fitness professional does not mean that every rep I do is perfect. I try to get really great form, but I might fall out of it, and I want you to know that's totally fine. Some days too, balance is just like not happening, right? So it might be different if you do this workout a couple times. You could be like, the last time I was able to balance and this time I can't. That's normal, it happens. So last two right here. Okay, we're gonna keep the high heels this time. So you are in 6-inch stilettos. Toes are straight on, big toe grounded, hug the ball, micro bend in the knee. Heavy tail, lifted belly and chest. We're gonna slowly take it down. We're keeping those heels nice and high. And then we're gonna slowly pull back up. Good, so we're definitely getting the balance challenge. We're strengthening those feet. Good, big breath in. Hug the ball and slow to lift. Good, remember to stop before your legs are straight. Squeeze your quads for me. That's really the focus of this movement here. If you guys are familiar with the guy, knees over toes, he is all about these kind of movements to strengthen the knees. So if you're curious where this is coming from, you can check that out. So we're gonna go for 3 more. Good, keep elongating through that lower back and lifting up through your belly. Good, I would turn to face you guys, but I don't think that's a good idea. We're gonna do 2 more. Inhale to lower. Good, think of a magnet on the inside of your knees, pulling them together. Go for it, squeeze the ball. Don't just let it be there, actually use the prop. Last one. Good, pull the heart back over the hips. Inhale to lower. Good, exhale, squeeze the ball, slowly lift. Okay, you're gonna bring it halfway down. Let's find that form that we started with. Heels are high this round. Squeeze the ball, hold this squeeze, and you're gonna dip through the knees, up an inch and down an inch. Good, let it burn. Find your best form for 8, 7, laser focus, 6. Squeeze the ball, lift the heels a little more, 5. Dip up and down, 4, 3, you got it, and 2, and 1. See if you can slowly come out of it. Squeeze the ball, lift the quads, and float the heels. I know, crazy, right? Okay, we're gonna come to all fours, keep the small ball. Donkey kicks with the ball to activate our hamstrings now. So we're switching muscle groups, going to the opposite muscle group of that quad. Put the ball behind the left knee, hands underneath the shoulders. Open up through the fingertips, push the ground away. Kick your supporting shin down. So kick into the floor so much your right knee could lift. Then squeeze the ball harder and lift your left leg up, and then inhale, lower down. Good, so you've got a isometric hamstring contraction here. Like I said earlier, when the ball was between our inner thighs, really use the prop. So it's not just there for like, appearance. Use it. Squeeze it the whole time. Make it work for you. As we lift this leg up and down, we're trying to not lift from the lower back. So when the leg is up, if your belly has dropped down, I want you to draw the abdomen in up into that lower back to help keep your hips still. Looking good, guys. Squeeze your glute and the ball at the top. Okay, we're gonna go for 6 more. We're here for 6. Good, how hard can you squeeze that ball? In 5, for 4, last 3, and 2. Okay, we're gonna hold it up on 1. Tight squeeze into the ball, thigh is high and still. Squeeze the ball more and more. Kick your heel to your butt. For any of my dancers out there, make sure your knee isn't pointing out, it's pointing straight to the back wall. Good, think of rolling your inner thigh up to the ceiling. Hamstring curl that ball. Squeeze your glute. Good, couple more. Squeeze, resist the release. Good, turning the back of that leg on. Stay proud in that upper body. Let's go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Try to pop it. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And take it down. Okay, quads, left hamstring are getting warm. Let's flip around. We're gonna do the same thing on the right leg. So quadruped, take the ball behind the back of the right leg, squeeze it, make sure it's wedged in there well, and you're gonna kick the left shin down, push the floor away with the hands. Okay, squeeze the ball really tight, lift the abs, we go up to about hip height, and you lower down. Now your range of motion could be different than mine here. If you find that you move from your back as you lift the leg, like you could do this in front of a mirror or film yourself to get an idea of what's really happening. If you find that your lower back is moving, then challenge yourself to literally not move your back and just lift the leg, maybe this height. So I don't care that your leg goes here if your back does this. Instead of working the back of your leg and your glute, you're going to be pinching your lower back like over and over again. Not so helpful in getting glute and hamstring strength. Okay, work into that prop, squeeze it for dear life, and that is going to make that right hamstring work a little harder for us. Squeeze, lift. Good, I like to peek at my form too, so you can look back and underneath your body at your hip bones. Both of your hips should point straight down to the floor. So you can always just peek and adjust your form. Okay, we're gonna go for 5 more. We've got 5 and 4. Abdomen up for 3. Kick that left shin down, really apply pressure. We've got 2. Okay, here we go. We're staying up. Your thigh doesn't move. You're kicking your lower leg to the back of your upper leg, squeezing into that ball. Good, lift your face away from the floor. Micro bend in those elbows. Try to squeeze more and not release too much. Good, turn it on. Looking good, you guys. We're gonna count it down, almost. Don't drop that thigh. Here we go. We've got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And float it down. Woo, okay. So we're gonna put the mini ball aside, come to standing and grab your big ball. Make sure your space is clear. We definitely do not want to trip here. So we're gonna go into some lunges. So I'm gonna start with my left foot forward since we just worked that right leg. So your right leg is gonna be on the stability ball. Your left foot is on the floor. So you're gonna put the ball about top of the foot shin area, and you can adjust as we do this. Hips and knees point forward, so take that right hip, draw it forward and pull the left hip back. Stick your butt out and draw your chest forward. So we've got a nice flat spine and it's gonna slightly tilt forward. Here we go, we're gonna take our lunges, guys. You're gonna roll the ball out, bend into the left knee, and then you're gonna draw back up, driving that left foot down. If you want more range of motion, have less of your leg on the ball. So you're more to your toenails. If you need more support, you can put more of your shin on the ball. And you can adjust, per rep, just get comfortable with it. This is another one, if you're like, this is crazy. I mean, this is crazy, right? This is nuts that we're doing this, but we like a challenge. You can put your hands on a chair or a wall in front of you. You can still do this. Remember, make it work for you. So if there's an exercise you're like, I don't know if I can do that, try it and take some modifications, see if you can make it work. That's how you progress and get stronger, right? You gotta try it. Okay, so let's think 4 counts to pull the pelvis back. This exercise, the knee is not trying to shoot forward. So you're trying to pull your left hip back, ooh, almost lost it, as we go down. So I'm not shooting my left knee over my toes. I'm pulling my hips back. The left thigh bone is sliding back into the hip socket, and then I'm bending into the knee. Okay, inhale, we lunge down. Okay, drop your shoulders, don't get too stressed about this. I know it's a big one. And then drive through the foot, we stand. We've got a couple more. Big breath in, we lunge. Driving the entire left foot down into the ground, squeeze the left glute, pull yourself back up. Inhale to lower. Exhale to lift. Okay, give me 3 more, you guys. Yes, you can. We're here for 3. Don't rush them. I have a client that every time I try not to even give him reps, because the minute I start being like, you've got 3 left, he just rushes them. So don't be like that. Okay, we're gonna take a hold here. So come down to your lowest point. Drop your shoulders, lift your gaze in your chest. We're holding, get low for me. Try to put most of the weight in that left foot. You've got 8, 7, 6. We're gonna slowly stand in 4, 3, 2, slowly we rise up. On 1, and step it in. Holy moly. And I really felt my foot working, right? So let's do the right leg, you guys. So make your adjustments if you need them. Space is clear. Right foot on the floor. The ball is gonna be underneath. I prefer less of my foot on. I have the range, I have the mobility in my hips, that works for me. If you need more of the shin on, so that when you lunge, you don't go as low and your knee kind of taps the ball, that would be the progression. So here to start, or you can roll it further away from you and it's more to the top of the foot. Okay, gather your shoulder blades onto your back, square that left hip forward, right hip back, and let's flow our elevator lunge. We inhale, pull the hips back in space. So first move the pelvis back and then bend at the knee, and then slowly push through the right foot to stand. Good. So I want you to spread your right toes and push them into the floor. So you feel that entire right foot grounding. Okay, so taking your 4 counts to go down and your 4 counts to lift up. So there's only 1 set usually in a Pilates class. So that's really the nice thing. There is a good amount of reps here, but we're not repeating it. It helps with you mentally getting through it, right? You're like, okay, it's a 1 and done. Pull back through your hips. Stay straight in your spine. Don't let that back break around. And then drive through that right foot, and we stand. Good. Inhale, we go down. Exhale, we press up. Good. The ball's gonna roll out as you lunge. And then drive through the front foot as you stand. Remember your options by shortening the range of motion or holding a wall from the side or the front or a chair. Okay, no, we're really focused on these glutes and legs right now, but also lift the abs up. Just a reminder, that's gonna help keep your body safe, and it really helps with balance, hugging your center muscles to the midline. Pull the hips back, making sure that front knee doesn't jut over the toes. Inhale to lower. That right glute is on fire. Exhale to lift. Okay, 2 more. Last 2. Okay, this is our hold. Find our center and our focus. Lunge it back. Pull the waist back. Sitting nice and low. We've got 10 counts. Yes, you can. Final 8, 7, 6. Coming slow out of it in 4, 3, 2, 1. Standing up and releasing. Really making that final rep count. Okay, we are switching equipment up and we're coming to the floor. I think that probably sounds awesome. So put the ball aside. We're grabbing both the ball and the weights for some abdominals. So you've got the small ball in your light hand weights, nothing too heavy. I don't want this to feel like an arm workout. I want it to be about your abs. So that small ball is gonna be at your mid-back. If you have an issue with this, the ball can probably go higher up for a little bit more support. Then grab one weight in each hand. Scoop your core in. So that's 2 actions. That is the pelvis, the bone tucking, and then your belly pulling in. That is the muscles. We want to find both. We're going to have the weights in the hands, palms forward, melt those shoulders down, and you're going to give me just a little crunch. As you curl up, you're exhaling. When you exhale, I want you to pair that with your abdominal contraction. So breathe out and draw your belly and your ribs deeper into the body. So thinking that that's really what Pilates is teaching you. And it's hard to do. It's hard to be like 10 things are happening at once. That's about getting more advanced in the practice. Some things are gonna become more like second nature, and then you can continue to layer. So maybe you just start with the breathing, and then after you really nail that, you can begin to be like, okay, I get it. So I'm exhaling, and I'm also sucking my abs in at the same time. Modification here, you can lose the weights and put the hand behind the head. Right there. So you can just relax that neck. Okay, we're gonna go fuller range. So chest to neutral, curl up and over the ribs. Lean back, breathe out. Inhale, exhale. Give me 4 more. We've got 4 and 3 for 2. Okay, stay up on 1. We're gonna march the legs. So try to keep your pelvis really still. Bring your right leg into tabletop, set it down. Left leg into tabletop, set it down. When you go to switch your legs, this area where your belt would be, try not to let it move around. Go really slow on the transition. Okay, we're gonna add a bicep curl as you bring the leg to tabletop. Elbows are shoulder height. Upper arm doesn't move. Bring your wrists to the top of your shoulder. Okay, here we go. Exhale. Inhale, set it down. Exhale, pull it in. Inhale, set it down. So pair that lower belly contraction with your breath out. Find the shake. Good work, you guys. Let's do 4 more. We've got 4, 3, 2, last one, 1. Feet down, hold the arms at 90. Little pulses of the arms up. Keep that chest rounding over the ribs and just hold it nice and still in this abdominal contraction. As your arms punch up, your ribs tighten. Give me little exhales. Good work. Okay, as you punch the arms up, give me that mini little sit-up. 1 inch up, 1 inch down. Pull the abs in deep. We've got 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, stay up on 1. Round your arms. Do not move your body. Just your right arm's gonna open and come back to center. Just the left arm's gonna open and come back to center. We are stabilizing a ton in our body. So as the weight of our arm and the weight itself goes wide, it wants us to pull us in that direction. And we're using everything in our power to not move with it. Good, give me 4, and 3, last 2. Good work, you guys. Final 1. Arms in a circle, little pulses. Melt the shoulders down. Pull your back muscles together. So we're definitely not here. Open that chest up. Little crunches. You got it, guys. Okay, 4 more. 4, 3, 2, hold it on 1. You're gonna fly your arms open. You're gonna lift your right leg to tabletop, give it a hug. Fly your arms open as you set the right foot down. Left leg tabletop, give it a hug. Breathe in, breathe out. Last little push here. If you feel like your stomach is like a Theragun, then you're doing it right. Draw your navel in. Good, you're gonna give me 8 more. We've got 8, 7, 6, 5, almost there, 4, 3, 2, last one. Feet down, arms up at a diagonal. Open the chest, pull straight up to finish. We've got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, put the weights down. Bring that ball onto your shoulder blades. Lean over it into extension. You can also put your hands behind your head for a little support or even more of a stretch here in your chest. So take a breath in and take a deep breath out. Do 2 more of those because we are going to keep moving. So gather your energy, take a beat. Okay, the beat is up. Lift your head up with your hands. We're gonna move the weights in the small ball aside. Make sure it's out of the way. You need space again. And then we're gonna grab the big ball for our plank series. So still a lot of focus on core, but now our core is really warmed up, right? We're very aware of pulling it in, which I think is super important when you do a plank. Sometimes I go to really intense like Legree classes. I love them, but starting off with like a 5-minute plank series and like nothing's warm here, it can be a little aggressive. So your core is warm, we're ready for it. You're going to be, here's your modification. If you cannot do the plank, you can be here with the plank on the ball, on your hands, or on your forearms, right? If that's just too much, you can also do it on the floor, okay? Otherwise, you're coming with me for some tucks. So you're gonna put the top of your shins on the ball. Just find your plank first, and then we'll get into it. So we're here. I want you to be really strong and firm in your foundation. If your foundation starts to go, then you should take a break, because this is going to really jack up your lower back. If you cannot feel like you can pull your abs in here, then I would love if you would just work on that and then come to this. So belly up. Remember, it's the tuck of the hips, but also the contraction of the abs. We're gonna draw the knees to the chest and then roll them back out. Okay, so shins on. Exhale, knees come towards you, scoop the belly. Inhale, roll it out. Let's breathe and flow. Exhale, mouth. Inhale, nose. Every time those knees draw in, you're pulling your stomach away from your thighs. Pull it into the body. Do not wear your shoulders as earrings. Pull those shoulders off the neck. Looking good, you guys. Stay strong. Good form in that low back. Give me 4 more. Do not rush them. 3, 2, last one. 1. Roll it out and step your foot to the floor. Okay, just breathe for a second. Hang out. I'm gonna be in this awkward position so I can just keep the ball there. So now we're gonna do a single leg tap to the side of the ball. Our goal is hip stability and ball stability. So let's find our high plank. Big breath in, tighten your lower belly, pull your shoulders down, find the plank. Put it on the shins. Kick your shins into the ball. So the shin that stays on the ball, the leg that stays on the ball, push into it. Abs in. Lift the left leg, tap it to the left of the ball. Then lift it up and kick the left shin into the ball. Lift the right leg nice and slowly and tap it to the right. And then lift it up. So your supporting shin is working a lot to stabilize. You can peek at your hips here. When you do the leg tap, you don't want to drop the hip. So when you tap the leg to the side, that hip is still up. Inhale, tap. Exhale, lift. Face away from the floor. Give me 3 more. 1 more each way. Pausing in the center, resetting that core connection. Last one. Bend the knees and set the feet to the floor. Okay, give it a little wrist shake. Woo! I know, it can be a little wristy. So we're gonna do pikes. Yeah, so basically you make like a pyramid shape, but up to the ceiling. So modification, holding your plank. I prefer my hands slightly turned out for this. It feels better on my shoulders. If you are a broader person, I would take the hands wider. Focus on wrapping your elbows towards your thighs rather than out to the wall. It'll feel nicer on your shoulder. If you don't trust me, try it and then let me know. Okay, so hands slightly turned out. I'm wider than shoulder distance. It feels better for me. Toes on the ball. Okay, push the floor away. Your shoulders are gonna stay away from your neck. As you draw the ball to you, your tailbone lifts up. We're making that pyramid pose. I'm not sinking into my shoulders. I'm pushing out of them. And then I'm gonna roll the ball away. We're in a long plank. Before you lift, exhale, draw your low belly in. That's what initiates the movement. The ball's gonna roll to you, and then we're gonna roll that ball back out. Big breath in. Exhale, belly in. Find the pike. And then roll it out nice and slow. You got a couple more right here. Lift, tailbone up, roll it out. Good, let's do 2 more. Yes, you can. Here we go, last 2. Rolling it out nice and slow. Okay, last one. Abs up, pull from your core, lift your hips, push the ground away. You're looking back at the ball when you're in the pike. Head hangs freely. We roll it out and we set the knees down. Wow, I think this class should be called like earthquake shake because everything's shaking. Okay, you guys, we're gonna put the ball away and we're gonna grab the small ball and the weights for a little bit of back extension. Okay, so I'm actually gonna put this here. I think it gives me more space. Okay, so we have the small ball and we have our weights. Now, I'm gonna show you this position of the arms before we get into it because I'll be laying flat. The arms are gonna be in a goalpost like this. If it's too heavy on the shoulder with the weights, ditch the weights and do it body weight. So the ball's here, right below your chest. And you can situate it a little bit up or down, depending on comfort. So mine is below my toes at my rib cage. Okay, it's holding me up. It's giving me a little assistance with the back extension. Arms, 90 degrees. Pubic bone into the floor. So if you look right here, if I just hang out, my stomach is resting down. I'm not doing anything right now. I'm gonna tuck my hips. That's the bone action. Then I'm gonna pull my stomach up. That's the muscle. Arms in goalpost. I want you to have your elbows at shoulder height. Lift the weights, moving the back of the hand to the ceiling, drawing the shoulder blades down and together, and then lower the weights back down. Upper arm doesn't move. Okay, lower arm lifts. Draw the muscles in the upper back away from your neck and down towards your tailbone, and we lower. My chest is just hovering, so the ball is helping me stay up in this back extension. You also have the option of adding a little bit of a lift of that upper back as the arms lift and lower. That is dependent on how this feels in your back. Here is the modification. You can make fists and lift up, squeeze the shoulder blades together and lower down. This is not only really strengthening for your upper back and your shoulders, but it is also a huge amount of mobility. So notice when you lift the weights up that it's not your elbow angling to the ceiling. So elbow's gonna point towards the floor, back of the hand to the ceiling. Okay, let's go for 4 and 3, for 2. Okay, long neck, stay up on 1. Pulse the arms up an inch and down an inch from your shoulder blades. Squeeze the back, release. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take it down, roll those shoulders out. We're gonna do one more thing. We're gonna draw circles, either with the weights or not. Arms are gonna stay in 90. Float everything up, back of the hand to the ceiling. Now think of shrugging your shoulders up, down, and around. So moving from your upper back rather than from like your elbow. So make your back move into the spine, up and around, and then reverse it. Up, down, up, and around. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo! That is something else. Okay, stretch it back, child's pose. Release that lower back, stretch those arms out. Big breath in, deep breath out. Okay, bringing it forward, we're coming into some obliques. So you're gonna need just one weight. So you can put the other weight out of the way. The ball, let's be over on the left side. So left knee bent, the ball's gonna be about at your left ribs. So underneath your side. Your left arm's gonna be out to the side. Your right hand has the weight. I'm going to slide myself up, squeezing my right hand to my right leg, and then lower it down. If you don't have that range, you can just push up and down from that left arm. Okay, if you're able to slide and get a little higher, you could do that as well. So pick what works for you. So notice now we're squeezing right here in the waist. You will get a little outer hip, but we're focusing obliques, okay? So here we go. Exhale, lift and squeeze. Inhale, lower. Breathe out. Breathe in. Press yourself up into it or glide into it. That can just depend on the surface of your mat or the floor beneath you. tummy tight. You've got it. Good, give me a couple more. We've got 8, 7, squeezing into the side body, 6, and 5, for 4, and 3, for 2. You know we're gonna pulse it, so hold it up and go in an inch and out an inch. Close your eyes and squeeze from the side of your spine, not your hip as much. We've got 10, 9, lats down, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo, feeling it. Okay, when we do outer hips later, you're gonna love me because it's gonna feel like set number 2. So we're switching it up. So put the small ball about at the right ribs. Right knee is bent, left leg is straight, and you're gonna have the weight in the left hand. So the right form is just out to the side. You can press yourself up to get a little bit more range. You can slide into it. Okay, try to kick the bottom shin down. That was a personal adjustment as well. I could see my foot flying around, but we don't wanna do that. I don't know if my mic is picking up my stomach right now, but it is digesting my eggs like crazy. I can just hear it. Probably because we're doing all this like crunching in our waist. Good, squeeze that side. So you're pinching right here. We're gonna do 8 more. And then we're gonna pulse it. Keep your chest open. So remember, it's a side body crunch, not a twist. We've got 6 and 5 for 4 and 3 for 2. Okay, hold it up on 1, in an inch and out an inch. Bend at your waist, so it's not just like your leg and arm moving. Move your side up and down. That's it. Drop those shoulders. Let's go for 10, 9, 8, 7, finish it up, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo, release. Okay, you guys, so we are switching equipment. We're gonna take that big ball and we're doing outer hips as if we don't already have an awareness of them. So let's see, let's switch legs. So you're gonna bring the ball over to your left side. We're kneeling and the ball is to the side of us. So we're gonna do side kicks with the ball. So the first set, we're gonna lean all the way over the ball and you're gonna put either your left hand or fingertips or fist on the floor. Yes, my left hip is touching the ball, but I'm not trying to like chill. Lift away from it as much as you can. And then we're going to bend the right knee and pull the right hip away from the right ribs, make length. Shoulders stacked. You're gonna do your hydrant, lift, squeeze, and lower down. Lift, squeeze, the knee points right off the line of the hip, the foot lines up with the knee. When I lift my leg, I am not sinking into the ball. So push off your supporting arm and shin. Looking good, you guys. Good. There might be a little arch in your lower back, but I definitely don't want you to over accentuate it. So chest open, lift up through the lower abs. Good, give me 4 more for 4. We're finding a shake again. And 3 for 2. Last one, new move. We're gonna circle it. So from the bottom, you're at a hover. You're gonna go forward, up, back, and around. So just nice, big circles. Okay, even though we're moving the lower leg, we're trying to stabilize everything else, which the ball is making harder, which is a good thing. If you have any issue with the neck, you could look to the floor. Looking good, you guys. Give me 4 and 3, for 2. You know it. We're gonna reverse at the bottom on 1. We're at a hover, we go back, big lift, up, forward and around. Back, big lift, up, forward and around. Squeeze the side of that hip. Keep those left oblique muscles lifting away from the ball. You can do it. We're in it together. Good, give me 5 more. We're here for 5. You know it's intense when the voice starts to shake. 4 and 3 for 2. Last one for 1. Good, bring it down. Woo, roll that ball to the other side. Okay, so side kneeling. The ball is to the right of us. It's gonna be nice and close to us. We're basically leaning over it, and you're gonna put your right hand on the floor, in line with the shoulder or slightly in front. Lift up through your ribs, starting with our hydrants. We lift, we lower. Okay, so now you're aware of how much this leg was just working, right? You can probably already feel it. So you're either on the right palm, fingers or fist. Abdomen lifted, chest open, and try to really push up. So not here, push up. Like there's a weight you're trying to lift to the ceiling. Each rep. Okay, 1 more, and then we're gonna circle. Last one. Okay, you're gonna come to a hover. We're gonna go forward, up, back, and around. Forward, up, back, and around. Nicely done, you guys. Let's breathe. Maybe you close your eyes and you feel into the movement. Sometimes I really enjoy that. Try it out. I mean, maybe that's a little hard on the balance, but it could be different. Good, give me 4. And 3. Almost there for 2. Okay, last one. 1. Pull the abs in, sweep it back. Up, over the hip. We go back. Up, over the hip. Okay, we're finishing those outer thighs here. We're gonna go to inner thighs next. So just think, okay, there's a release coming. You're getting close. Good, we've got 6. Keep the best form you can wherever you're at. I know this is getting tough for me too, but we're gonna do it. We're here, we signed up for it. We've got 3 more. Lift the energy, reach for it for 3. And 2. This is it, last one. Make it count, big lift, push it up and circle it around. Oh my gosh, I'm not gonna lie. That was really hard. Okay, so we're gonna do inner thighs, and guess what? We're laying on our back, so I'm sure you're like, hallelujah. So, not as intense, but very fiery and effective for the inner thighs. So lay down, get cozy. We're using the big ball. You're gonna put the big ball in between your legs. Boop. Legs straight and parallel. Let's point the toes. Abdominals are in. You're gonna squeeze the ball. Squeeze in, release. But don't release too much. We're not trying to let the ball go. Good, so just inner thigh squeezes. Thighs are engaged. If you need to modify, you can absolutely do this with the legs bent. I would just probably move it more in between the knees. Okay, if your legs are straight up, it's gonna be more feet, ankle area. Okay, squeeze in. Now I want you to play with how slow you release the squeeze. So big squeeze in, slow release out. Good, exhale, hug. Inhale, release. Okay, let's just like completely let that neck relax here It did a lot for us today. Squeeze the ball and slowly release. Okay, give me 3 more. Like, if you were watching this and not doing it, you'd be like, what is she doing? It's like nothing happening. If you're doing this, you're like, oh, there's a lot happening. Okay, hold the squeeze like crazy. Like crazy. Squeeze it for dear life. Like I said earlier, don't just have the prop, use it. And now pulse in, in, in. No release. Hug it tighter and tighter. We've got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're gonna turn the legs out. So knees out, inner thighs in, toes pointed, squeeze the ball, release. Straight legs if you can, otherwise you can totally bend the knees. Squeeze, release. Hug it in. Okay, so playing with the slow release. Squeeze hard as you can and then slow count to open the ball back up. Okay, we're working that external rotation here. So your inner thighs are turning toward your face. We're hitting them from a different angle this time. Okay, we're gonna do a couple more. Squeeze hard, slow to let it go. Give me 5, and 4, for 3, think about what you're doing, feel into it for 2. Okay, iso hold, squeeze for dear life. Find better form, pointed toes, stretch through the thighs, squeeze the ball a little harder, really hold it, and pulse in and in. We're gonna do 30 to finish this class. 30. Squeeze more and more. 25. Almost there. 20. Almost got it there. 15. Faster. Let's do 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ah! And release. Oh my gosh. It's like squeezing so hard I couldn't even let go of it anymore. Okay. Rest your legs on the ball. Little lower back decompression. Woo, you guys, that was amazing. Maybe give yourself a little mini pelvic curl with your shins resting on the ball. Take a couple deep breaths in. You just did that. We just did that. High five. Like, Pilates is no joke. No joke. Okay, so you guys, if you want to stick around and have time, we're going to do a little stretching. One of my all-time favorite things is doing some back bending on the ball. If that freaks you out, feel free to skip it. So basically, the ball helps create a supported back bend position. So when you do a back bend, it's gonna stretch the front line of the body. So chest, core muscles, which we need because we just contracted them a lot, hip flexors and thighs. So you're sitting near the front of the ball. You're gonna tuck your hips under. So even though it's a stretch, there's still definitely muscular engagement. We're gonna slowly lay over the ball. The key is to just free the neck. So you're not here holding it for dear life. Relax your neck, let it fall back. It's gonna feel way better. This is gonna stretch the throat. You can spot the ball, you can spot the ground. You can reach overhead, palms in. You can also lengthen your legs, and that's gonna feel really awesome right here on those hip flexors and inner thighs that just got attacked in the best of ways. So let's just let our core muscles be a little softer, like we still have an awareness of them, but you're not trying to contract them for dear life right now. We're trying to get a little bit of length there. We just did a lot of contracting them. Think big, full body stretch, reaching from head to toe. Good, okay, so to come out of it, bend your knees. It's gonna roll you to the floor and your head will be supported, so that's really nice. And you can use your hands to lift your head. Okay, let's turn it around and we're gonna use the ball to do a hip flexor and lunge stretch. So take the ball just a little to the right, step the left foot forward and wide, you can bring the ball forward. Okay, so that front knee is over the heel. Sometimes I see something like this, it's just not as aligned. So fix your form, Tuck the hips, push off the ball, lift the chest up. Take a big breath in. Good. Then straighten your front leg to the outside of the ball. Pull your pelvis back. So if I'm there at your house training you and you did something like this, going lower like this is like literally not gonna get you anywhere. First, get your back really straight. Really straight. Don't even worry about going forward. Move your hips back, open your chest. I'm saying this not to brag, but so that you get the idea, like I'm super flexible. This is crazy intense if you have the form right. Like I don't need to be any further forward to get this hamstring stretch. That was not a floss, it was just to prove a point. Good, okay, let's step it in and switch sides. So you're gonna take the right foot to the outside of the ball. Remember, knee over ankle. You can walk the left knee back a little bit. Pull the belly up, push the ball down, lift the heart. Open up between your chest muscles. Take a big breath in, and then move the hips back, straighten out through the right leg. So your pelvis, push your hips back, then push your right heel forward. So you wanna pull on the muscle in two directions to get the stretch in your hamstring. If we start to do this, this is gonna be more about your back, yeah, and not really the back of your leg. Push off the ball, open that chest up. Good, and then bring it in. Okay, we'll use the ball and do a seated figure four. So you can roll the ball back against the wall if you want. Right foot on the ground. You're gonna cross your left ankle over and hinge forward. I have one hand on the wall, or you could try to balance. It worked. Good, okay, bring it up and we're gonna switch. So plant the other foot on the floor, race the ball, cross the ankle over, let that knee drop down. Nice straight spine, lean into it. If it's really tight, you can just sit up straight. That could be plenty as well. Good, and release. Awesome work, you guys. You have done it. Mat Pilates with equipment from home. That was killer from head to toe. I'm super sweaty. Something I love about this kind of training, when you just keep moving, it also keeps your heart rate up. So you get a little bit of like heart health cardio benefits as well. Hope you enjoyed class today. I absolutely love playing around with equipment. I'd love to hear what was fun for you, what was maybe really hard for you in the comments below. And hit subscribe. I have a membership if you're interested in additional videos and workouts with me. And I will see you guys on the next one. Take care. Bye, guys.